Aktiedagen. Välkommen tillbaka, kära tittare. Jag vill också påminna dig som sitter och tittar och försöker lära dig mer om bolagen och kanske vårda dina investeringar. Är det någonting du vill veta så klicka in på under mig här så finns det möjligheten att ställa frågor direkt i Youtube-chatten. Så gör jättegärna det, så lovar jag att vidare befordra frågorna till bolagsrepresentanterna. Med det sagt så är jag jätteglad att få säga varmt välkommen. I'm switching to English now. And to the CEO Christopher Kingdon. He's the CEO of Adventure Box Technology, and I think they are working really hard in trying to make it easier to create your own games. So, is that correct?
That's correct.
So, please go ahead, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Yes, we'll make this presentation in English since we're beginning to get ever more interest from English-speaking investors. So I hope our Swedish investors are okay with that. My name's Christopher Kingdon. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Adventure Box Technologies. Adventure Box makes it easy and fun to make, share and play games online. Now it's fun to have friends, and when we say games we also mean game-related content such as the components you build a game with or a video of your game and so forth. Our vision is to become the leading social cloud game sharing site for consumer-created games. This is a huge market position. Global revenues for computer games is 3 times as large as that for video, and it's over 12 times the size of the music industry. The actor that wins the market position as the leading sharing site for computer games created by consumers will be larger than YouTube. Now, we have patent protection for the technology that's required to take this market position. Our patent covers the combination of easy creation and easy sharing. Because we are more than 30 times efficient in using the broadband connection than other game streaming services, we have global reach. Already today, we have users in all countries where they have internet. And because we're so efficient when it comes to utilizing the service, we have a solution which is economically viable for a mass market solution. The patent is approved in USA and is being expanded to Europe, China and Japan. Also, of course, we know how to protect our patent. Well, as I said, it's fun to have friends. In addition to making it easy to make and share computer games, we're adding the social aspect. Over the first 3 quarters of this year, we are focusing on the instant social maker. This is a new function, new features that allows you to create together with your friends. Today you can make with friends, now you can also create with friends, and this will help us drive our virality. It will help us reach more shares and more invites. Over 50% of our users come to us from a mobile device, a tablet or a mobile phone. Therefore, our other focus, we have 2 focuses, Mobile Instant Maker and improving the mobile experience. To create an attractive solution, you want to ensure that you offer features that delight your users while not detracting them with things like bugs or stability issues. The Instant Social Maker is an example of a delighter function, and improving the mobile experience is an example of removing a detractor. The capital markets have been a bit slow to understand the importance of consumer-created games. That's changing now. For example, JP Bullhound put out a report that reads like an adventure box buzzword bingo. It's all about what we do. I highly recommend that you read this report, and you can see the link to it in the presentation there. We have a big competitor. They too used to be fairly unknown, but over these last couple of years, the capital market have grown to know who they are. Roblox is an early adopter version of AdventureBox. Roblox have about 150 million active users, but they could have had 800 million. They have 800 million visitors to the web page, but because only about 80% of users download software, they only have 150 million users. Roblox was listed the other week, and as a result, I think their valuation has now passed $40 billion. That's interesting, isn't it? Now, if we look at Roblox growth, they've grown at a steady and slow rate since their launch in 2006. And you can almost make out the S-curve here. Typically, growth for a new solution will grow according to an S-curve. Slowly at first, then faster for a while, and then slower again. Now, since Roblox is an early adopter solution, they require a download and an installation to make and share games, and they require a rather complicated scripting language to make games. They will only reach probably about 13.5% of the available market. Now, Roblox is mostly used in Europe and North America, but if we give them the global market, how large is that? Well, 4.5 billion people have access to internet. 50% of all people make games. 13.5% of that is 304 million users. That's the maximum Roblox can hope to reach, and they've already passed 150 million. They've passed the center point of their S growth curve, and we will see their growth rate slowing down in the future. Now, if we compare with one-click sharing, we can look at some hits that have been shared on YouTube, like Gangnam Style. And to see the growth curve for Gangnam Style, we have to change the scale. And now we can barely notice the growth curve of Roblox. Of course, Gangnam Style is not the biggest success. I think it's called Despacito, this new hit. It spread even faster. And there's lots of examples of videos that have been shared with one click and spread really fast. Lots of examples on YouTube and also on TikTok. Now, AdventureBox shares in the same way as YouTube and TikTok, with one click. Roblox have passed the center of their growth curve, and their growth will taper off. AdventureBox have just started, and we will see our growth kick in the future here. And at that point, we will overtake Roblox, and we will reach our vision of becoming the globally preferred sharing site for consumer-created games. Today we focus on our super users, our best users, and together with them we're planting this seed for viral spread. So we're looking at three types of users: creators, gamers, and socializers. The creators we think are most important. They create the content that is shared and that is played by the gamers. And our top game creator has published 232 games. Our top gamer have defeated 4,500 other players, and we've identified 272 super socializers who comment, post, and chat much more than other users. Once we pass the viral tipping point, and the viral tipping point, that's when we grow month to month without any marketing. Once we pass this viral tipping point, we'll start marketing, and we will do a campaign or several campaigns with influencers who will help us accelerate our growth. Now, it's important to understand that we, AdventureBox, are not just a better Roblox, we're a new level of solution. When it comes to game making, it's been a long journey. It used to be that game making was only for larger game studios, really. They would use very expensive game engines. Then Unity came along and changed the business model, and you had distributors such as app stores and for PC games Steam, who made it easier for smaller studios to distribute games. And this started the whole indie game explosion. With Roblox, really accomplished consumers can make games that then can be downloaded and installed. Apple called these really advanced consumers for prosumers. What we're doing with AdventureBox is we're fully democratizing game creation. So with our graphical interfaces and with our one-click sharing, we're making it easy and fun for anyone to make and share computer games. Now, at this point, the question is really, when will you get it? When will you understand that this is happening? If I should brag, I should tell you I'm an engineer. I understand technology. I understand the benefits of our technology. We have a patent covering the combination of easy making and easy sharing. Our extremely efficient bandwidth utilization gives us global reach, and our really low server load makes us economically viable to be a mass market solution. Now, perhaps you're not an engineer. Maybe you're more of an analyst. You want to look to the metrics. Well, we've published our customer acquisition costs. They're about 200 times lower than the benchmark for mobile app downloads. We've published our numbers for returning users, and we're seeing a trend upwards. And our returning user numbers will continue to improve with the features we're bringing in, improving the mobile experience and bringing in the instant social maker. And then we have the sharing. With the social maker, we will improve our virality. We'll have more sharing. One thing we're seeing already now is spreading through word of mouth. We see users that all have the same email address from schools. So schools in USA, in Asia, lots of kids signing up from the same schools, and we can understand that they've heard about us from their friends. You could look at these metrics, you could look at the trends, and you could understand that something is happening here. Now, perhaps you're a conservative investor and you don't really believe in formulas. You want to see the formula manifested in user numbers. And of course, we know that the user numbers will depend on the returning users and those who are invited and those who reach us organically, plus those that we reach through marketing. And if we have a low customer acquisition cost, our marketing budget will reach further. Or you're one of these investors who will wait for the money. You can do that. The revenue will be a function correlated to the engagement, the loyalty of our users. One metric for that is daily divided by monthly users. I should tell you that we're prioritizing growth over profitability today. We will continue working with our business models. We're doing so mostly because it's fun to trade with AdventureBox, and the fun drives growth, and of course in the end user growth will also drive revenue. The longer you wait, the longer other people will have benefited from the value increase in AdventureBox. Alrighty. Well, if you don't quite get it yet, you're not alone, right? You can look at our net asset value and you can look at our market cap, and you can see that our market cap is just barely above our net asset value, or in Swedish, just above our substansvärde. We have assets at 86 million and a valuation, it's gone up a little bit over the last couple of days, so a bit over 100 million SEK. But there's almost no multiple, which I think many would consider an opportunity. Now, to speak of something more fun than the stock market, we have an absolutely fantastic team, and we've been able to grow it a lot over the last 2 quarters. We've hired 5 new developers. We hired a CFO, a creative director, and a senior community manager. There's only one open role for a UX person. But after that, the team is complete. This is the team that will take us to success. That's it. Here's the summary. Consumer-created games is a huge market position. Our patent-protected technology is required for a viable mass-market solution. We have cash. We have a strong team. We are on a path towards viral success. The instant social maker and the improved mobile experience will push us over the viral tipping point. We are currently valued just above our net asset value. So at which investment awareness step do you make your investment decision? That's up to you. Thank you for taking the time to hear our presentation.
Thank you so much, Christopher. That was very interesting, and I've already learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to learn a little bit more. So can we start with the revenue stream? Could you just elaborate a little bit? What are the most important revenue stream today and in the future?
Yes. We're not looking to make money today, but we have implemented 2 of 3 business models. And so the first business model is advertising. So we show advertising before you play a free game. Same as YouTube, before you see a free video, you get to see an advertising video. We also have advertising banners in certain locations. We could show much more advertising, and we could also integrate with more providers of advertising content. Today we use Google Ads for banners, and we use CPM Star for video. And to increase advertising value, we should really integrate with several more providers. The other business model we have is our platform currency, which is common for computer games. So you can buy adventure bucks with a credit card or a PayPal transaction. And then with adventure bucks, you can buy things on the platform. What we're seeing today is that some of our users have much more adventure bucks than other users. They have been successful in creating computer game components and selling them to other users.
Yeah.
So the market has started to work. However, we're currently giving all the users adventure bucks left and right. Whenever they do something we like, we give them adventure bucks. So there's only a handful of people today who have to buy additional adventure bucks. As we move along, we will start giving away fewer adventure bucks. And then more often our users will find that they're in a situation where they actually have to buy adventure bucks to get the stuff they need.
Okay.
And the third model is really an extension of the platform currency. That's subscriptions. And so if mom and dad is getting tired of you asking to buy adventure bucks all the time, and they come and look at what you're doing and they see, oh, this is a creative platform, you're learning about creating games. Well, okay, you can get the subscription.
Yeah.
And with the subscription, you get like a weekly allowance of adventure bucks.
Oh, then you can create as many games as you like, more or less.
Yes, and you can also buy...
But also, if I create my own game,
yes.
Who knows, that might happen in the future, and I can sell it to you, and then you, your company will take a cut from that.
In a sense, yes. You will earn money from advertising shown before your game.
Yeah.
And when you sell things you create to make games with, like really pretty swords or nice hats or things like that, you will earn a revenue share from that as well. So we've started paying out revenue shares to some of our users, and this is also something we will develop. Okay,
yeah. You talked a lot about Roblox, and but could you again just compare what are the difference, would you say, between you and Roblox? I mean, you seem to think that they are really old-fashioned and doing really complicated platforms for creating games. Or is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, they were launched in 2006, 14 years ago.
Yeah, but they have probably done some research and development after that, or?
Well, they've developed their product, but they, as much of the computer game industry, are stuck in an old paradigm.
Okay.
Which is that you have to download and install the software.
Yeah.
Now, if you look to videos, you look to music, all other forms of entertainment, it's streamed. Yeah. It's one click in the browser. And the reason for that is 80% of people don't download software. So it's very inefficient to market a service and then have them come to your site, and when you show them, oh, now you should download, you lose 80% of your potential customers. And that's why big companies like Google and Amazon and Tencent are all moving to streaming for games.
But don't you think that Roblox and the other big companies within the gaming industry, don't you think that they're talking about this? Don't you think, will they be competing with you on this streaming?
Yes, so if you look at some actors like Google Stadia, they do stream games today, but they require 30 times more bandwidth than us. They require a minimum of 10 megabit per second on the bandwidth, and we only require 350 kilobit per second. And if you look to Roblox specifically, Roblox and Minecraft, they use the same 3D model as us. We use sort of like a Lego style 3D that's easy to create with. And if you want to stream that 3D model that Roblox and Minecraft and we at AdventureBox use, that's our patent. You can't actually do it without licensing our patent.
Okay, so how secure is your business? I mean, do you feel confident with the barriers for the competitors, or could they do the same thing you're doing, or do you feel safe?
They could, right, if they license the patent. So that would be a commercial discussion between us and them.
But then again, then they had to talk to you, so they couldn't do it on their own. Is that what you say?
Not with any economic viability. They could do it the same way Google Stadia does streaming today, but that would mean that you need 30 times more bandwidth, which means you can only do it in Stockholm and New York and places where you have really good bandwidth. And it also comes with a high load on the servers. It's okay for Google, maybe. The rumor is they're going to shut down Google Stadia because it's becoming too expensive for them. And of course, we don't have that type of money, so we had to build a cost-effective solution.
Yeah. So how well financed are you, would you say? I mean, could you describe your financial situation a little bit?
Over the years, we raised 120 million SEK, and half of that came in October. So we did, for us, a large 60 million SEK round in October.
So how long will that money last?
We haven't actually said that, but of course you can easily look in our quarterly reports and see that.
So what's your burn rate today?
I think it's better people look in the quarterly report, but it has been between 1.5 and 2 million SEK per month, depending on what we're doing. And of course now we hired some additional staff, but we have all the money we need, basically.
Yeah, you have grown from 13 to 22 full-time employees. I think I heard you say that now we're good. Now we're not hiring anymore. Or do you need more people? Or
no. The team is the team now we always dreamt of having.
Okay, that's nice. And you say that you're looking to this tipping point of the number of users before you can start advertising and then increase the revenues even more. So what is the tipping point of users?
So
how
we've
many
done
users do you need?
A couple of larger marketing campaigns, and we learned a lot about how to reach the users we want to reach. But at this point here, we don't have to learn more about that.
Okay.
So what we're doing instead is we're all the time measuring very closely the user behavior. And the tipping point is really about that if you do no marketing and 1 month you have, say, 100 users and the next month you have fewer than 100, then you have not passed the tipping point. All marketing initiatives you do will temper off. They will eventually disappear and you'll have to continuously market. But if you have 1 month have 100 and the next month you have 101, now the situation is hugely different because you have interest on your marketing efforts. And instead of something slowly falling off, you have exponential growth.
Yeah.
And if you then add to the exponential growth with marketing spend, you can grow incredibly fast. And so that's what we're working towards.
So when will this tipping point turn up?
Yes. We don't do prognoses. We don't, because we're a listed company, of course, and we don't want to get into all that. But of course, the numbers to look for is the returning users and the users who reach us organically without any paid marketing.
Okay.
So when those two numbers are adding up, and we try to publish much of this data at a monthly.
Okay. Can you
rate.
say how many users that are needed to reach break even?
Well, yes. So our target is to make about $5 revenue per monthly active user per year.
Okay.
And you can estimate that we'll have at least 70% gross margin. And so that all adds up to, with our costs, that if you have like 1 million users, that should be plenty. Yeah.
Okay. And what which geographic markets are you focusing on?
Good question.
Are you just all over the place, or?
Well, we have users in all countries,
Yeah.
but we're actually most interested in the developing world. We'll start there.
Such as?
South America, Asia, and even Africa, we have lots of users. So we're looking now for users who will help build our platform with attractive content. And then if you're a game maker in a low-cost country, you don't actually have to make so much money before this becomes a good occupation for you.
Okay, yeah. And also, is the competition, is it a better situation for the competitors
yes, it is, because
there?
of course we don't really have Roblox there, because maybe they have bad
So you go
broadband.
where Roblox hasn't established already, or?
It's easier, right? Because
Okay.
if you have a cheap device or you don't have that much broadband, you don't really have that option.
Okay, I see. And what are the main risks, would you say?
To be honest, there used to be one risk, and that was that we would run out of money before we were done.
Yeah.
Now there are no risks.
So you don't see any big necessary investments coming up that you need to?
Not necessary, no.
Okay.
No.
And this blurring, the blurring of the line between playing and creating, how important is this for your growth?
We want people to share. That's sort of the starting point to viral spreading. And of course, if you made a game, you will share it. You'll be proud of your game, and you'll want other people to play it. So you'll help us market. And if we compare again, we look to see, look at like 1 in 4 typically making games, and if you compare with Roblox, it's 1 in 14.
Okay.
And by creating the instant multi-maker, the instant social making experience, we have people sort of playing together and building together.
Okay.
And so then the making becomes more like a game.
So it's part of the game. So
yeah, so we hope to get a higher rate of makers and more sharing that way.
Okay, so is it easy to start creating games? Is that?
It's super easy. It's a bit addictive. So it's because you can really.
Did you create any games yourself?
I do. And I have a huge project that I return to every now and then, and that I'm building Manhattan.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so because we can import maps from Google Maps and turn them into 3D models, and then you can start from there and build from there. So I'm building a mini version of Manhattan.
Okay, it sounds fascinating.
It's rather fun.
Yeah. So I have to just start playing games and creating some games then, I guess.
I think you should.
I will give you a call if I need some help.
Sure.
So thank you so much, and good luck with the future development of Adventure Box. So thanks for coming.
Thank you.